Welcome to Leaders, and you can find me at the intersection of public relations and leadership. Join us as we talk to organizational leaders, elected officials, experts, authors, artists, and personalities sharing their stories, talking about how they got to where they are and how they continue to learn and lead the way. So without further ado, let's get into it. Greetings, good people. It's your girl, Tanya McKenzie, the founder of Sand and Shores, and your hostess today on Leaders and Learners. Listen, I always want you to learn something, but I also want to share what I've learned in the past. Local politics has nothing really to do with political parties, right? In order for local politics to work, there needs to be community involvement. We happen to live in a community, Redondo Beach, who has leadership that doesn't really want us to participate in the process. So we have to take it upon ourselves to communicate what is going on with our city. So today I have a couple of residents who have some concerns. These are residents, they are parents, they are businesswomen, they are sharp, they are savvy, and they have some concerns. And I think that it is incumbent upon us to continue to communicate with one another, share our thoughts, and be active in the process. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Miss Marie and Miss Miriam. They are incredibly active residents, and I'm so grateful that they are here. Hey, ladies, how you doing tonight?
Happy to be here.
Hi. Very glad to be
here. I definitely wish it was under different circumstances, but I want you, let's start with you, Marie, and let the community know what is currently top of mind for you with Redondo Beach.
Well, I mean, my main issue is right now, as of tomorrow, where is Redondo Beach going to remain solvent? And if not, if we don't have money, what are Redondo residents going to lose? As you may or may not know, Tanya, tomorrow they're going to be picketing the city council meeting. Now, I'm not reading about that in Hermosa. I'm not reading about that in Manhattan. And then the other thing they're doing, even though the Redondo residents have voted on it for almost a century, is they're going to try to take away residents' ability to elect a city attorney. Now, why would they do that? And so I am very concerned that we have an incompetent, out of touch, borderline corrupt city council majority. And I want to be very clear. I'm talking about Mayor Bill Brand, Zane Obadji, Todd Lowenstein, and Nils. I am very concerned that they are sliding from out of touch to corrupt, especially trying to take away our ability to elect a city attorney.
Now, I'm a little concerned because they themselves have always said, well, the residents already voted on that, so why are we rehashing it again? This is something that the city residents have already voted on. We do not
just once, Tanya.
Not just once.
4 times.
We have voted to keep an elected city attorney. Miriam, what's top of mind for you right now?
I feel like every so often, every few months, there's just another thing that our city council tries to pull on the Redondo Beach residents. And, you know, it ends up becoming up to us, up to the rest of us to, you know, those of us who are paying attention, to bring attention to it. And it takes away our time and energy. And what I would like is to just be able to trust our mayor and our council to do the right thing for our community and for the residents, and not be so self-serving. You know, they tried to remove a council person who didn't align with their views and viewpoints, Christian Horvath, several months ago. And many of us had to rally ourselves, go at 3 p.m. in the middle of the week when we have children in school, and we all had to take time off of work to go and speak up against their attempted removal of Christian Horvath, which was completely, had no legal grounds, no reason other than this guy just didn't do what they want to do, doesn't align with them. And they did what they did to try to get rid of him and put somebody in his, appoint someone in his place that would align with their views. I feel that now with their attempt to put this this ballot measure on our next ballot to, you know, appoint our city attorney versus continue to keep it elected as it is now, it reminds me of that. And it's expensive. It costs money to add ballot measures, unnecessary ballot measures. We have voted on this 4 times, and all 4 times we've already said we want to maintain an elected city attorney. We want to keep our rights to vote. We want to be the ones that are the decision makers. And again, it's a waste of money, a waste of time, and it takes up space on a ballot, and it makes people look at a ballot and say, I'm not going to vote. It's too much stuff I don't know about. So, it just feels just unnecessary and expensive.
Marie, you said self-serving. Can you go a little deeper into that for me?
Well, yeah. Tanya, I've lived a lot of places. I was born in New York. I lived in New Jersey. I lived in Virginia. I lived in DC. I lived in Manhattan Beach and Marina Del Rey. And I have never had a mayor and a city council person solicit me for money for personal legal fees. Now, I don't know why, because they keep saying, hey, look, we're winning. We just win. We win them all. But we need hundreds of thousands of dollars to pay our lawyers. And you guys owe us that. You owe us a debt of gratitude. And to me, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. I have never been solicited from my elected leadership to give. I get if you're donating to a campaign, but for personal like not like legal, like, oh, help me get elected. Hey, people don't just like us and we're winning, but you need to pay our legal fees. I don't understand that. If you're winning, well, what did you win? What did you win if you need my money? So now, this is our mayor. The mayor of Redondo Beach posted this on Facebook. And very few people were personally being sued. These big, mean people just don't like us. And they're just suing us because they just hate us. And you know what? We're all on the hook for these legal fees. Now, is that the truth? Are people just saying we hate you and we're suing you? And that happens? Is that the truth? Is that why they have these legal fees? So they're asking residents who might look at this and kindly say, oh, wow, Bill Brandt, he's so nice. Let me write him a check for my own money. So now they have a city attorney, the ability, what we have. And I want to point out something, Tanya. Hermosa uses Redondo Beach's legal services. So I don't know if people are familiar with all the Manhattan Beach. It is an enviable position what we have in Redondo Beach. Manhattan Beach has asked George Gascon twice to use our legal services, and Gascon said no. Manhattan Beach would tomorrow kill to have what we have, because we have a prosecutor that can prosecute misdemeanors. So, regardless of how you feel about Gascon,
it's interesting that she says we have what other people have. It's actually the same thing I heard being said about the fire department.
Mm-hmm.
We have what other people want, but we have leadership that's trying to get rid of it. So let me go ahead and read this really quick. Yep. Very few realize we are still being personally sued. This is the mayor. Nils Nehrenheim, Row founder Wayne Craig, who everybody asked him not to appoint, and Linda Moffat, my volunteer treasurer. So you got a volunteer treasurer that you didn't even pay, but you still want other people to give you money. It's very complicated, but in short, we have won every round except our legal fees, which were overturned by the state Supreme Court. So then that means you owe them, you personally. Please join us tonight as our fundraiser kicks into high gear to get our lawyers paid for all their very hard work. We owe them a huge dose of gratitude for helping us save our waterfront. I'm not sure if you've seen the waterfront, but it's not saved. It's falling apart and looks really ghetto. To be continued. So here's my question. Reading this, we owe our lawyers. So now we're going to get rid of the elected attorneys to what? Give his lawyers a job to pay for their debt?
This guy is saying, what Bill Brandt is saying is, hey, look, Redondo, you can currently elect your attorney, but I think I should do it. Now I need money. Give me some money because I got to pay my lawyer. What person would you want? I don't need to solicit money to pay my bills. I think I'd like to retain my vote. I think I'd like to make that choice. I don't need you to make that. You worry about paying your legal bills. You do that. And I'll worry about electing an attorney to keep you in check. And again, what is the motivation? Show me the study that we're saving millions of dollars. Show me that other cities have it better. If so, why is Manhattan Beach begging for what we have? Do you think Redondo Beach wants George Gascon to be the city prosecutor? Show me this charter council meeting where they said, yes, this is a great idea. If you hire a law firm, we can do what Mike Webb does and what the city prosecutor can do for less. Show me that, because I heard there was a charter meeting where a law firm told them exactly the opposite. Show me why Mike Webb saying, hey, this is a great idea. You know why they don't like Mike Webb? Because Mike Webb holds them accountable.
That's right.
He does his job. And Mike Webb is a highly respected, hardworking gift to Redondo Beach. And they can't stand it because people like Mike Webb and they don't love them. And Mike Webb holds them accountable. So they're saying, hey, we want you out. You're making us look bad, Mike Webb. And we want to pick our own person. And why would Redondo Beach want that? Why? And why are we doing this again? We've been doing it since 1934. And you can't pay your employees. And then the city council is saying, you know what? We can't pay our employees. We have no money. We can't pay our own personal legal bills. Let's focus on this. That's a great idea. That's a great, great idea. Meanwhile, my husband almost gets killed crossing Artesia because that light is incredibly dangerous. There have been 2 accidents in 3 months.
It is.
Where's law enforcement for that? What do we have to give up? And like I said, Bill Brand was one cool dude in 1990, but it's not 1990 anymore. It's not. Redondo has changed, and I think he is incredibly out of touch with what we need. And the fact that they are even entertaining this as something to put on the agenda, as something to discuss. And I want to bring up one other thing, Tanya. Zaino Baji wrote a very heated letter to the Easy Reader that he was aghast and appalled that Hermosa Beach did not reach out and tell them that they were writing a letter to about the right of way. How dare Hermosa Beach do that? Well, I want to know if Zane reached out to Hermosa Beach and said, hey guys, guess what we're putting on the agenda? And guess what? If this goes through and you lose our services, you're going to be on the hook. How do you guys feel about that? Because Zaino Baji better have done that, because he got a whole group of people all whipped up and stormed Hermosa Beach's meeting. So of course he reached across the aisle, right? Did he? Do you think he did? Or do you think Hermosa Beach is going, what? What's going on?
My money is on no, he did not. And I'm going to tell you one other thing. To me, it's very important that everyone understands something. This is a very important thing we have to remember. The elected city attorney is beholden to the people of Redondo Beach, the citizens, right? The people that are voting, because he's elected, or she. But if the city attorney is now going to be appointed, knowing that at any point they could be unappointed because they're not aligning with what mayor and council want them to, what wants them to say and do, then that is not a good way to run the city. I will say we've had 2 city commissioners be removed from their commission positions because they dared to say something that did not align with the values of the mayor and some of those council people, Nils, Nehrenheim, Todd Lowenstein, and Zaino Baji. So that we have demonstrated, the city council and the mayor have demonstrated and shown to everybody that, hey, if you don't do what we say, we'll get rid of you. You don't do what we say, we won't appoint you. And so that is going to put us at risk. It's going to put us at liability, actually, if you're going to have an appointed city attorney that whenever something comes up, legal question comes up, now this person is going to try to look at the law and say, oh, maybe we can finagle these words to da-da-da. We're already under a lot of
lawsuits.
Pressure. We're under, yes, I was say financial pressure, because we are embroiled in several lawsuits. We have been embroiled in several lawsuits. We've lost a lot of money. The city has lost a lot of money. And the city is unfortunately in a declining revenue state. We're not making any money. Businesses don't want to do business in Redondo Beach because of the reputation of our leadership, unfortunately, which is why we need to change leadership. But in the interim, having a city attorney is very important. Mike Webb does hold them accountable. He is a checks and balances. He says, nope, don't do it this way. This is not right. This puts our city at risk for liability. And that's the person that we need to continue having. And my biggest thing is, don't even put this on the ballot for people to vote on again. Because the truth is, it costs money to put stuff on a ballot. We voted on this 4 times already, and we voted no each and every time. Let's work on other things. Let's try to make some money. Let's try to improve our city.
Or pay our employees. Let's try to pay our employees so they don't picket a council meeting. Do you think we could do that, City Council?
I want to read this to you. So this is Nils, and it was on his page. Redondo Beach Waterfront turns its guns against this community once again. You read that right. After getting $2 million from the city of Redondo Beach Waterfront LLC filed a motion to get $165,000 from us for their appeal on a lawsuit that they filed against us and lost handily. I'm not going to read the rest of this, but my question to you all is, we look at our pier, we look at Artesia corridor where businesses cannot remain. They have done nothing to improve either, right? And we are embroiled in various different lawsuits. And now we're talking more money. At what point does any of the money that they're asking for become something that the residents actually benefit from?
Benefit, Tanya, they're asking us to, there's no benefit. They're asking us to sacrifice. I think that's the difference. Beach Town charm comes at a cost. Okay. So if we are on the last annual report, the state auditor, our financial rating plummeted. We are and they said, don't worry, it was all COVID, but Hermosa and Redondo did not make the naughty list of this financial thing. And I wrote a letter to the Easy Reader. I don't know if they'll print it, but I did put it in the Easy Reader article because we can't pay our employees. So I think what Redondo residents don't realize is, what are you willing to pay for Beach Town Charm? What is it willing to cost you? Are you willing to pay personally for these legal fees? Because if you are, great, write a check. Are you willing to lose services? And if so, what? Do you want George Gascon to be your city prosecutor? Is that what you want? Is that what you want to give up because we can't afford what we have now? And I just cannot emphasize enough that you just don't see this in neighboring cities. If I go out, one of the great things about being to North Redondo, now there's wonderful businesses in North Redondo, but like when I go to a movie, I don't necessarily go to the Galleria. When I go out to dinner, I go to the Point. I go to Manhattan Village. I do love Riviera Village. I do love the Green Temple. I love the Green Temple. But, that's like a once a week thing. So great. I get it if you're in South Redondo. It's really nice over there. But look at all the other places that have invested in their infrastructure, and now they're seeing the fruits of it. And they invested in their infrastructure when costs were lower, when interest rates were 1-2%. Those were borrowing rates. What is it costing now? And how long is it going to take? The Galleria is blight. You go to the Galleria. I mentioned I go to the movies to see a Galleria, and people say, I wouldn't go there. It's dangerous. They don't say it's not nice. They say it's dangerous. This is it's 7 figures to live in Redondo, and people won't go to a movie theater because it's dangerous. That's crazy. And it's not like the formula. Her Manhattan Beach is doing it. Hermosa is doing it. Torrance is doing it. El Segundo is doing it. Why is our weird city council unable to replicate? It's not that hard. It can't be that hard. But it's this fight, the guns, fight. They hate us, Brand Army. And all 3 of us have been on the other side of Brand Army. You do not. If you live in Redondo and you go against Bill Brand and his army, you're going to get personally attacked. And they'll tell you, what they'll tell you? Politics are dirty. Politics are dirty. Well, hey, pay your own damn legal bills if politics are dirty, guys.
That's right.
That's not really our problem right now. You got yourself into it and you get yourself out of it. Mm-hmm. Let us have our own attorney to answer to the residents. And
what about you? Why are I didn't even know that they were picketing. I know that they've been upset about their pay, but are there certain departments that are picketing, or is everybody
the union
that works for the city mad? And Why?
That, I mean,
What are they mad
we're
about
in union
specifically?
negotiations. We'll find out tomorrow. Watch the news. It'll be on the news. Another proud moment for Redondo. Are Manhattan Beach employees picketing? Do you have to read about that? You know, I mean, like what I said when they did that PowerPoint presentation against Christian Horvath for having integrity. When Nils asked Christian, "Are you cheating on your wife?" He freaking asked him that. Are you kidding me? Nils made everybody, every resident who came in, get up and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And an attorney got up and said, "What the hell are you doing, Nils? You're not supposed to. This isn't a court."
She got my glasses sweating right now.
Why would we
She
trust
has my glasses sweating.
these crazy people? They're insane. It is beyond. So, I mean, would you want to work for them? Would you want to work for Nils? Would you want to work for Bill? You can't. All three of us are going to pay for doing this podcast. We're going to pay for it. We're going to get crucified. They're going to crap on us. They're going to crash our personal meetings. They're going to try to make us look bad so they can look good. And that is what our city council has to do. They have to bring other people down so they can come up. And it doesn't have to be this way, guys. I don't see it happening in Manhattan Beach. I don't think it happening in Hermosa Beach. Just do your freaking job and stop embarrassing Redondo. And
I would be okay
by not doing this dumb stuff.
I would be okay with them even attacking me if we could at least get a peer that wasn't embarrassing.
Right.
It's kind of ghetto.
Or like the parking lot at the pier that we have to pay how much $1 million a year, something ridiculous, just to keep it up. We are wasting so much money. This leadership loves to waste money. It loves to spend money, and then it's we can't get a crossing guard for $19,000.
Right.
Oh, hold a special election and pay how much money for a special election to keep one of our people, who really should have been recalled, but that's okay. We're gonna waste money. We're just gonna waste money all the time, and we're gonna put stupid ballot things on the ballot so that way we can just create problems instead of working on solutions towards issues. Marie's right. There was a stabbing over by the mall today. Inside the mall, there's cars that are constantly being broken into and having stuff happen to their cars. That's why people don't want to go to the Galleria. We need to worry more about improving our city right now, our city improvement. What's next? We have declining revenues. So what's going to be next? Is there going to be a bond measure now? We all have to pay a percentage now to keep basic infrastructure up and running. We might lose our fire department, guys. We're one of the only, you call 911. There's something that's happening. You call 911. The police and the fire department's not here in minutes. It's here in moments.
Yep.
They're there like this to respond always. And they are beloved. We are one of the only cities that has its own dispatch, its own police department, and its own fire department. Go live in LA. See what happens in LA. Because you call 911, you're on hold. Okay. Look at LAUSD. They're having a lot of issues in LAUSD with the school. We have our own school district, and our school district is incredibly highly ranked. We have some of the best programs in this city. We've got a great fire department, police department, our own dispatch, and school district. And these are the things that they're just going to keep getting. We are literally at risk for losing our fire department. I don't know if this community knows this, but if you don't know, now you know.
Here's my question, and not to beat a dead horse, but you guys are residents, parents, pet owners, love the city, love where you live, but you have gotten involved and become aware of what's going on. What about the rest of the community? What do you think it's going to take to get the rest of the community awake and involved and active in sculpting the next stages of Redondo Beach? Because just us having this conversation, that's a start. But what is your advice to each person, each resident, if what they're hearing right now, which is the mayor is asking for money to pay his bills, the city council majority is trying to pull the wool over your eyes, because if they really wanted to let you know and get your input, they would have put some effort into letting you know what was going on. And we see they're not doing that. So what is your advice to the community that might hear something tonight that concerns them and they don't know what to do next because they're not as involved yet.
Well, do you want me? I would honestly, it is not fun when you get involved. And we know that. They're mean. They're mean. And they made the front page of the LA Times. Google Bill Brand plus LA Times plus nasty. So I would warn any resident who wants to speak out, be careful because they'll hurt you, because they will do that. They will make it their life's mission to bring you down. So I don't think it's residents' fault that they want to get involved. Now, the good news is these guys are terming out. Nothing lasts forever, okay? So this will not last forever. What I do think residents should do is find one of us, because we're willing to take the arrows, we're willing to take the slings, and, just vote. Because I will say, they love to keep saying, we're winning, we're winning. Well, did their candidate get endorsed? Who they endorsed for a council seat, did they get elected? I don't think so. You know who got elected? Page. So they're not winning. They're not winning. If you won, you don't need to beg for money for your legal fees. And maybe they believe it. It's like that Seinfeld. If you believe the lie, it's not a lie. I think in their delusional, wacky, crazy brains, they're like, we're winning. And if it helps them sleep at night, okay, you believe that. But be very careful going up against Brand Army, because they will hurt you. But I'm not afraid. I know Miriam and I, we are not afraid to do it. We've done it. We have the battle scars. So just reach out to us. And we are not afraid. There is an and we don't want an army. I don't even want to use that term. I honestly just want to vote and forget about it. I want to go back to those days. Remember when you didn't care? Remember when you just voted, just didn't care? Isn't that great? You're just like, oh, what's a city council meeting? I want to go back to that. And I am confident that their karma is biting them in the butt. You're not on the cover of the LA Times. You're not being investigated by the state bar for no good reason. And people aren't stupid. So Redondo, I have the one thing that keeps me in Redondo is the people. They don't want to fight. They don't want to get involved. But they vote. They vote. And they're not dumb. And don't underestimate them.
They're not dumb, but it's hard. It's hard to weed out unless you are deeply involved. It's hard to weed out the lies. And unfortunately, that's exactly what they get. They get lies. L-I-E-S.
Here's the thing.
From the
just
people.
Get them talking. Just get 3 people went to that fundraiser. That fundraiser was pathetic.
I mean, the fundraiser for legal fees.
Like 3 people interested in attending, right? So all of a sudden, when you ask this Brand Army, hey, we need $300,000, that army ain't writing those checks. It's just not happening. And like I said, they wanted Candace. They wanted Candace as the council person. Who's the council person right now? They're not winning. They're not winning. Okay. So I have a lot of confidence in the residents of Redondo Beach. And again, I would very much warn residents, if you speak out against them, they'll hurt you. They will hurt you. Don't make the cover of the LA Times for that reason. Okay. And I've been hurt, and you've been hurt, and Miriam's been hurt. We've been hurt. But I'm not afraid of you, Brand Army. So bring it on. Bring it on. I'm expecting it. You're gonna try to hurt me, and I am not afraid of you. So go ahead. I'll see you tomorrow, and I'm going to say the same thing. I'm not going. And like I said, you go 90 days, City Council. I'll give you this week because you're going to be in the news this week. Can you go 90 days without being in the news? If you can go 90 days from a week from today without being in the news for negative thinking, you'll never have to hear from me again. 90 days. Can you do it?
I'd go 60. I'd even go 60.
My money's on no.
I'd even go 60,
but, yes,
but I don't think they can do it.
We'll be
Miriam, let the people know, feeling some kind of way compelled to battle through this elected versus appointed city attorney situation, what they should be doing.
Tomorrow there's going to be a city council meeting. People can certainly come at 6 p.m. at City Hall. Is that what it's called? It's called City Hall? I don't even know.
Yeah, City Hall.
City Hall, yeah, on Diamond and PCH. Or you can go to the city website, and then you can click on agenda, and you can write an e-comment under P1. And I believe there's also a way for you to call into, Zoom and make your voice heard, let people know. I actually have asked around. I said, what are the pros and cons? I want to know what are the pros of having an appointed. I really do want to know, because maybe there's something I'm missing, and everyone said, I don't see any pros. There's no pros in my opinion. So we have a long list of cons. So I suggest that people go. And you know what? One more thing that's really interesting, because you bring up a really good point, Tanya, that people don't know. I get these emails, right? I get Zaino Abaji's like community email, and nowhere in there does he mention anything about putting this on the ballot.
Mhm.
Right? It's like, you just sent out a community email. Why did you not inform the residents of District 4 that this is something that's going to come up in a ballot? Are you trying to hide it? I think so. So it is kind of difficult, because you do want to trust your city council people. I would reach out to Paige Kaluderovich,
Yes.
because she is trustworthy. And also
Scott's
Scott,
good.
I was
Scott,
going to
Scott
say
is doing a good job. Yes.
Scott Barrent is another, he's a council person for District 5. So District 3, Paige Kaluderovich, and District 5, Scott Barrent, they are trustworthy. You can ask them questions and they will answer you honestly. Just like I used to always go to Laura, Christian Horvath and Laura MD before, I go to those two now, because I feel like, what they say, they're not beholden to anyone. Certainly not Paige. Paige wasn't sponsored by any of those people. She ran and she was elected on her own, by herself. People liked her. Lots of school board members endorsed her. Lots of,
Matt Ost.
our old fire chief endorsed her. Like, these people were endorsed by leaders of this community who genuinely care about Redondo Beach. So they care about Redondo Beach. They're only beholden to the people of Redondo Beach. So that's my recommendation.
I love that. Well, guys, we're going to put all of that information, who they can contact, who they can write emails to, where they can leave their comment if they are, brave enough to do it. I do suggest, if it's bothering you in the least, get involved. The last thing you want is to have regret. I wish I would have. Oh my God, I didn't know it was going to be this bad. I love this community, but it's going to hell in a handbasket.
Yep, you're freezing.
Down at the bottom, and you guys get involved, or contact one of us and we will do your bidding for you, because that's just what we do. So members, residents, parents, girlfriends, neighbors, it all matters. Like, all of that matters, and all of that is what makes up a good community. So outside of the leadership, we're blessed enough to live in a community where we actually like the people around us. We just do. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Hey, thanks for showing up to the podcast where we all know that the best leaders are lifetime learners. When you get a sec, take a moment, leave a comment. What you think about today's episode, and share it with someone that you know could use the gems that were dropped today. Follow and subscribe. You don't want to miss who's coming up next. You never know who could show up here and what they could say. For your professional needs, marketing, PR, communications, and leadership, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Sand and Shores, or hit us up at sandandshores.com. Again, thanks so much for showing up. We appreciate you, and we'll see you soon.